It is Monday afternoon, which can mean only one thing. Yeah, let's get it all focused and crystal clear because the championship format as well as the championship in the Upshot League, it's beginning to materialize. Welcome in to Talk It Up here on Action Sports Jack's 24/7 network. We are your one-stop shop, your recap show, the coaches program for the Upshot League's inaugural season, powered, of course, by Zoyer Sports. As always, I am your host, Mia O'Brien, excited to be joined in just a little bit by the commissioner of the Upshot League in this first ever season, one Donna Orender. We also will be joined by the head coach of the Charlotte Crown, Trisha Stafford-Odom, coming up at 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time as well. But before we get to that, as mentioned, one team has already locked up its spot in the first ever championship game of the Upshot League. Let's roll the highlights from the past week that was 4 games across these founding 4 teams, beginning with Kids Day on Thursday in Duval. Bluey in attendance, but no one feeling blue in attendance, especially one Diamond Johnson, 28 points, 2 off her season high, which was set in the season opener. The Groove up 3 late, but not for long. Air Hearn, this 3 to go ahead by 3 with 37 seconds. She hit another at the buzzer to send it to OT, the first overtime game in Upshot League history, but the Groove get the win, 94-90. Christmas in July, Thursday night in Savannah, only game of the week for the Crown and the Steel. A tight one, down by 6, end of the third. Hometown hero Nudie Jenkins completes the steal and the score. That fires up the M Market crowd. The pride of Statesboro had 11. Z Spearman erupted for a season-high 27, but Lily Grissett and the Crown too strong. Charlotte wins 86-74. The Waves and the Groove bust to Greensboro on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, back-to-back. Nicierra Pryor, all heart, 4 assists. The skip pass to Diamond Johnson for another tray. Diamond with a dozen in this one, but the Waves defense was as stifling as that Duval County humidity. Greensboro scored just 5 points in the second quarter. Kayla Pointer with a season-high 17 as the Jacksonville Waves bounce back in a big way, 66-48 the final. And then on Sunday, a 4-point game in the fourth. Showtime for Cheyenne Sellers and Renaya Davis. Whoop! Davis led the way with 19 and 6. Jessica
Is that
Timmons
a little Chris Berman right there?
Maybe, perhaps Noah. Jessica Timmons paced all scorers and did it all. I've never seen this on a basketball floor before, Noah. Have you? Everything going Timmons' way. She had a season-high 27, well, except for that final score. Jacksonville prevails 81-75. As we take a look at the most updated standings in the Upshot League, the Jacksonville Waves at 19-5 with a 5.5 game lead have officially clinched a spot in the Upshot League championship game, which, as the commissioner will detail here shortly, will take place in the River City. August 29th, VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. As for our stat leaders through the most recent games of this past weekend, Deja Kelly continuing to lead the way, 17.8 points per contest, but don't look now, Diamond Johnson, thanks in large part to that 28-point burger against the Waves on Thursday, now second in scoring. Renaya Davis, the only player to be amongst the top 5 scorers and rebounders in 2026. You heard him a little bit earlier. I'd like to welcome in Producer Noah, fresh off a nice little 2-week vacation back to the homeland in Iowa. And Noah, I'm happy to report the last time we made picks was the last time you joined us. Don't worry, Chandler and I didn't make picks in your absence.
I peeked at my record. It looks pretty good. I'm getting it all pulled up right here, but I'm pretty proud of how I've been performing. I'm very happy with how things are looking right now.
Yes, you have bounced back in a big way, especially from the last time that we made picks. It was a 4-2 week for producer Noah. We're not going to even mention my last slate of picks.
I think we should, honestly.
Well, let's pull up the most updated pick standings. And then we can certainly discuss.
I like the look of these standings right here.
Yeah. So producer Noah, thanks to a hot start and also
a very hot start. Yeah.
A very hot start. He had a little bit of a lead. I spotted him a lead. He thought he had me in the first half. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm still coming back. We've still got 3 more weeks of Upshot League action. Not to mention the WNBA. 19 regular season games to go. So let's hit it. Let's take a look at this week's picks. Let's see if we're beginning in the W or the Upshot.
We're going to the Upshot.
We're going to the Upshot. And by the way, Noah, we're going to pick all 4 games coming up this weekend because I didn't want to pick 3 out of the 4. Didn't think that was fair. And also, we got some games we got to make up. So Let's go with a full 4-game pack in the Upshot League. And so first things first, Thursday, Greensboro at Charlotte. Greensboro lost the series to Jacksonville last week, 2-1. Charlotte with that 1-game series win over the Savannah Steel. Who do you have in that one?
We're gonna groove for this one. Go with the road team.
All right, he is grooving. I'm going to go with the Crown, Noah, just because Trisha Stafford-Odom is joining us a little bit later, and also because I do think that in terms of that veteran experience, Greensboro certainly has signed a lot of marquee players out of the triangle, especially one Kayla Jones, who was electric in her first 5 games for the Groove, but I still want to stick with the Crown, who are currently 13-10, 5.5 games back of the Waves. Speaking of the Waves, they have one home game this weekend. They will host the Savannah Steel. Savannah still trying to find its footing. This will just be their second game in a 2-week span, Noah, since they last paid a visit to VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena.
Yeah, and I mean, fresh legs, am I right? But we're going with the Waves. We're sticking with the hometown team, the Upshot leaders, Jacksonville Waves. Wave Gang coming out with the W.
I've got the Wave Gang as well. That's Thursday and Friday in the Upshot League. Let's flip it on over to Saturday and Sunday. The Savannah Steel, talk about a quick trip. They'll head up to Charlotte to face the Crown. Who do you have in that one?
We picked against the Crown for my first pick. At home, we're going to go with Charlotte here.
I will as well, just because I think that's such a tall task for the Savannah team that was shorthanded the last time we saw them in action. Hopefully they get healthy. They've added some new players to that roster, and so I'm curious to see how they respond. I certainly think they'll put up a fight in the Queen City, but give me the Crown once more. And then the biggie on Sunday, the top 2 teams in the Upshot League squaring off in North Carolina. Noah, are you going to pick against Coach Jess?
No, never. We're going with the Waves.
I will as well, but hey, the Charlotte Crown did avoid a sweep the last time these 2 teams faced in back-to-backs at VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena, so don't count out Charlotte just yet. We do have the commissioner on her way. I'm going to tell her to, she says, my camera does not look on. Leave and rejoin, Noah says. Don't you guys love live podcasting, live television? But anyways, we also have picks in the WNBA, Noah. While we await the commissioner, Donna Orender, are we able to bring up our picks in the WNBA?
Yeah, let's get back here to the W as to Campbell's video, and you're seeing live producing as well.
Exactly.
Back over here.
Love it.
Toronto Tempo at Minnesota Lynx.
The Minnesota Lynx, of course, will have Nafisa Collier, who I see right now.
She's back.
She's not only back, she not only dropped a double-double in her return, she's handing out her exclusive new PEs to her teammates at Minnesota Lynx practice. Give me the Lynx, just because I think that Kiki Rice, as much as she's questionable for this game, don't think she'll be back. How about you, Noah?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and go with the Lynx. They're playing some good ball. You got Nafisa Collier back. Yeah, give me the Lynx.
Also of note, ESPN's BPI index for the WNBA playoff picture. We'll talk about that, I'm sure, a little bit later. But Minnesota Lynx, the Indiana Fever, still have to play each other 3 times this season. File that one away. Wednesday, the Atlanta Dream, the Dallas Wings in the Big D. Jose Fernandez, Carl Semesco, 2 of the best mid-major college coaches of the last 20 years. Who do you got in this one, Noah?
We're going with the Wings. Normally when I pick with them, it doesn't go well for me, I feel like. So it's probably going to be the Dream, but I'm picking the Wings.
I'm only going Oppo Taco just because we've been riding a lot of the same picks so far. So give me the ATL Wednesday and give me the Indiana Fever on Friday, because the BPI index does give them the best odds to win the WNBA Finals. Yes, that's what we call a tease in the TV and radio business. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Give me the Fever
to win the Finals.
Yes, again, we're going to talk about that a little bit later, but I am picking them, if nothing else, to win Friday night at Portland. Portland lost Sarah Ashley Barker to a torn ACL. Their second player in as many weeks lost to a torn ACL. Sanaya Fagan also tore hers. And so our thoughts are with our friends up in the Pacific Northwest in Portland. Shout out to Megan Gustafson, though. I don't think we've gotten a chance to discuss the bridal bump, as I'm calling it, that the Portland Fire were able to cover the spread against the Wings last Wednesday in Megan DeLeo, not Gustafson's, return to the floor.
Yeah, I'm going with the Fever here. Caitlin Clark's been hot, so I think we got to stick with the Fever. Clark's been balling, and that's obviously key. They're playing some really good basketball right now. 2
of the top 4 scorers in the WNBA both play for the Indiana Fever, and one Caitlin Clark and Kelsey Mitchell. Do we have Commissioner Donna Orender, Noah? We're still working.
We're working on it, not seeing anything, but we will keep you posted as we
How about this then? While we await Donna, do you want to take a quick break?
Yeah, let's go ahead and take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
Let's do it.
Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
In this video, I'm going to show you how to easily access Action News Jax Now using your Roku device. First, launch Roku. Next, use the menu list to scroll down to the search feature. Then, use the remote to enter Action News Jax into the search bar, and then click Action News Jax thumbnail. Once you see this screen, go ahead and select Add App. Wait a few seconds for it to install. Once it finishes installing, press the star button on your remote and click on Move App or Move App to the top. Finally, select the app back on your home screen to open it. Now you can watch all the great content on Action News Jax Now. Live daily breaking news.
We have breaking news happening right now in Clay County.
First alert weather and traffic.
Looks like we have a tornado warning. Let's take a look at that.
Action Sports Jax 24/7.
We've got the Brent and Austin Show daily, live sporting events, and long-form interviews you can't see anywhere else.
And shows like Law and Crime and much more. And that's how you access Action News Jax Now using your Roku device.
The commish is in the house, and we are excited to talk it up with one Donna Orender, all things Upshot League. Not to mention, she's fresh off a plane from Chicago and the WNBA All-Star Game. You're swimming, as you told me, Donna, just swimming a little bit. So we appreciate you taking some time to join us here on Talk It Up.
Hey, listen, me, as long as I'm not drowning, it's okay, right?
That's a good way of looking at it. That's
a good
for
way
sure.
to put it, right? Although I couldn't get my computer to work here, but okay. Listen, I watched I listened your recaps, Noah, both of you, the highlights. You're picking up. I love it. It's all great. And
Absolutely.
I love Talk It Up, and I love talking it up with you, as you know. So thanks.
Most definitely. Well, let's talk it up. We obviously had a press conference last Wednesday, but for those who missed it, that's the big news right now in the Upshot League. The first ever championship game and the championship format unveiled less than a week ago. For those who may have missed it, fill us in on what that format is going to look like and what championship weekend is going to look like in Jacksonville.
Well, and also the rest of the season, because what we announced was championship weekend culminating in the championship game, 7 o'clock on August 29th at VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. Team number 1 versus team number 2, which clearly has let all the teams know that every game matters, of which they do in a season like this anyway. But certainly, like, who's going to show up? That was our thematic that we're going to carry up. Who's going to show up? As fans, who's going to show up? Who's going to be on the court to show up and play? And of course, who's going to show up on all of our other ways that we distribute YouTube and our in our hometown network. Actually, we probably have to get to announce that soon too.
Yeah. It's all good. But yes, it's going to be a great time, and we expect to have fans from all over, all 4 of the founding 4 teams' fan bases join us at VyStar Veterans Memorial Arena. There it is, the beautiful championship logo. Again, that's August 29th, a 7 p.m. tip-off between the top 2 teams once the regular season does come to a close in the Upshot League. But it's not just the game, Donna. I'm really excited for all the other events that are going to be going on here in Jacksonville as part of Championship Week. Can you share some of those?
I mean, I'm happy to share them all. And, we really believe in community. And I want to reiterate that this, the home city, just like we went to Chicago, right? We were in Chicago this weekend. Chicago is well represented, but it was definitely a celebration of the WNBA. People came from all over. And I think there was so many parts of it that I loved, but there was one part, like, who's representing? We're in the arena, and, just had jerseys and T-shirts and sayings from every city across the WNBA league. And I thought, we're going to be doing that too. We represented Upshot, Taj and I, which is pretty cool. So let's start out. Friday afternoon. I don't have the exact time yet. We're gonna have a coaches clinic. This will be a paid registration. We'll have coaches from the WNBA, other outstanding coaches. We promise to do this. So we want to get the word out to all coaches who are interested in being able to learn how to be better. Come join us on Friday afternoon. Location still to be announced. Saturday, we're going to have a kids clinic, a youth clinic, which I think is amazing. I expect that all of these registrations will be limited. There's capacity kinds of constraints, but that will be awesome. And again, run by our Upshot players as well as some of our Upshot, officials.
Mhm.
We move into that, and this is a really special event. It is ticketed, and it's called Upshot League, Emerge and Surge. And it's curated conversations about the rise of women's sports. And we'll have incredible experts. So right now we're expecting Cheryl Miller. We're expecting Tamika Catchings. Of course, our own Taj will be there. We'll have somebody, the commissioner of Love Volleyball will be in town. We'll
Awesome.
have, I believe, four-time Olympic champion, hockey player, and tech entrepreneur. Angela Ruggiero has said she'll join us. So yeah, it will be a really stellar group of people, and everyone in the room that will show up, our coaches, our players, some of them will be there in attendance too. So I am really excited about that. Not listen, and I'm not even done yet. I think at 5 o'clock, our fan fest will open up outside the arena, and everybody loves that. Balloons and painting, face painting, and I hope our drum line will be back. And then 6 o'clock, when the arena finally does open, we will feature at long last. We talked about it all season. A Upshot League Women's Business Showcase. So we'll have up to 15 women entrepreneurs showcasing their wares in and around the arena. So you know what? A little shopping, a little cheering. I mean, all of it, right? Will create a great weekend. And the game itself, of course, we expect it to be sold out. It will be sold out because we expect all of you to show up, because it will be such an exciting, creating culmination of historical inaugural year.
And I love it because it really is right fresh off of literally the plane for you. But for those of us who are watching on TV, All-Star Weekend and the W, Donna, this idea of, and we heard Elena Deladon say it, the legend, she said that back in her day, she feels like the All-Star game was in large part just a simple game. She showed up at the arena, she played the game, and she went home, as opposed to a weekend-long celebration of women's basketball. And we know that's what Jacksonville is going to deliver. That's what the Upshot League is going to deliver in this first ever championship weekend.
We're going to do our best. I will say that it took the WNBA 30 years to almost mirror really what the NBA does. I go to the NBA All-Star game every year as well. It was an extraordinary celebration of the WNBA for sure. For me, it was otherworldly, and for many of us, but also about women in sports and about building community and this joy. I've written about this concept of effervescence, collective effervescence, which is the joy that comes when you're in a place that makes you happy and want to celebrate, and how healthy and good that is, especially in a world that we live in now. And so I felt that every night I put my head to the pillow. My eyes were probably closed before they hit it. And I wasn't out dancing with Paige Beckers at 4 a.m. Okay, I just want to say.
That's the
But the
that's the
amount
part of
of
this interview that's going to get clipped and go viral. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
I'm just saying, the emotions there were so high. I got a chance to spend some time with Cheryl Swoops and Tisha Penichero and Nneka Agbumike and so many of my players. And I call them my players because they'll come up to me. They say, you were my commissioner. And then the hugs and the celebration, the tears. It was just an incredible time, really incredible time. And I think what Taj and I both took away, and I know Taj is pretty exhausted as well, we took away how much interest there is in the Upshot League, how they know who we are and what we're doing, and how much they believe in what we're doing. And listen, a year before, I was literally showing the deck on my cell phone. So at one point, someone said, "Do you remember you were showing us those pictures last year?" I said, "Yes," and now we're playing, and it's great. So it was a wonderful showcase.
It was the first thing that one Stuart Weber asked when I walked into the Action Sports Jack studios today, Donna. He said, look, we don't wish ill will upon any of the players of the WNBA. We don't wish injuries upon anyone. But he said, at what point in time is someone from the Upshot League maybe going to get that call to possibly go back to the W, which is obviously what the point of this league is. It's to create opportunity for these women to return to the highest level, in addition to inspiring them to play elsewhere and, of course, continue to just be great servant leaders in their communities.
Well, and also play in our league. I mean, listen, like not everyone's going to go to the WNBA. But if there's a chance to showcase what you can do, this is the place to do it for sure. And I can tell you unequivocally that there are general managers and teams looking at our players, which is fantastic. That's what we love. And I was actually, Deja Kelly was supposed to meet me because I did this other, and we missed each other, unfortunately. But when I can, I will call out the names of our players. But I don't have to. Honestly, the people who know and are looking at talent, they know, and they are super impressed. But I do want to be clear that while there is a path to play professionally in a great league that supports them and build community in that. And that's also something that's worthy that probably they didn't think of having in the United States before this year, right? They all had to go overseas. And now they can also do both, you know?
Right. And I say that to every player in the Upshot League that joins us here on Talk It Up, especially with the 4 founding teams and those 4 founding cities, just how unique, how amazing all 4 of those cities are, having been in all 4. Like, I'm like, I mean, you couldn't have asked for more. Like, no offense to, some of these European cities that they otherwise would be playing in. But also, we're proud to be here in the U.S. We're proud to be.
Hey, listen, it's good. It's good. There is this, we're in this time of abundance, emerging from this time of when we felt everything was scarce.
Right.
And we have a long way still to go, but we're going to enjoy where we are, continue to work hard because the work is hard, right? There's a lot of work to do. It's not easy. And I felt fortunate to spend so much time with so many of the presidents of our WNBA teams. And I'm looking forward to, as soon as our season's over, going to visit with them in their markets as well. But Toronto just launched, right? Mm-hmm. God bless Teresa Resch and Monica, who was there, and Sarah and Claire was there from Portland,
mm-hmm.
And they all look a little weary, but they are all so infused with energy about what's happening. So I couldn't be more proud, as you know. I think all of us, Taj and Miriam and Erin's here and Shannon, and I'm even going to mention Karsten and all of our coaches. They are all really fired up, but I can tell you they have worked extraordinarily hard.
Well,
extraordinarily hard.
Speaking of one of those coaches, Trisha Stafford-Odom set to join us here at 2:30. And so before we let you go, Donna, and before we take another quick break, we are going to first introduce our game changer. And before we do that, we are going to remind everybody, if you want to buy tickets for the championship game in this first ever Upshot League season, upshotleague.com/tickets. I got that right?
You got that right. But, you might want to also mention that we named our MVP trophy for Ann Myers Drysdale. That was another bit of our news.
There we
go.
That
was big.
We love that
That's
as well.
big.
And Ann Myers Drysdale has been such a great supporter of the Upshot League in this inaugural season. Donna, appreciate you hopping in. Again, I know you've got a million things going on, heads in a beehive, but thank you for making time for us here on Talk It Up, and we will talk very soon.
We will. Take care.
There she goes, Donna Orender, the commissioner of the Upshot League and, of course, the former commissioner of the WNBA. As mentioned, let's get to this week's Game Changer of the Week. Let's give it up for our 11 Jaguars flag football teams competing at the NFL Flag Championships in Westfield, Indiana this past week. And especially the ladies. The girls' teams went a combined 15-8. The Jags teams overall were 47-21, with 6 of the 11 making the quarterfinals. The elite high school Jags not only got 2 interceptions courtesy of Addie Curry, she scored a touchdown as well, the lone touchdown of that quarterfinal matchup. Congratulations to all of our Jacksonville flag football teams. We are Duval proud of each and every one of you. Coming up when we return, Trisha Stafford-Odom, the head coach of the Charlotte Crown, going to join us here on Talk It Up to detail the 13-10 Crown on the other side here on Action Sports Jax.
Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
In this video, I'm going to show you how to easily access Action News Jax Now using your Roku device. First, launch Roku. Next, use the menu list to scroll down to the search feature. Then, use the remote to enter Action News Jax into the search bar, and then click Action News Jax thumbnail. Once you see this screen, go ahead and select Add App. Wait a few seconds for it to install. Once it finishes installing, press the star button on your remote and click on Move App or Move App to the top. Finally, select the app back on your home screen to open it. Now you can watch all the great content on Action News Jax Now. Live daily breaking news.
We have breaking news happening right now in Clay County.
First alert weather and traffic.
Looks like we have a tornado warning. Let's take a look at that.
Action Sports Jax 24/7.
We've got the Brenton Austin Show daily, live sporting events, and long-form interviews you can't see anywhere else.
And shows like Law and Crime and much more. And that's how you access Action News Jax Now using your Roku device.
NIMNICT is synonymous with Jacksonville, and now in 2026, NIMNICT is celebrating 85 years of partnerships with you. Longevity equals trust, and you want a car dealership you can trust. Thousands of vehicles sold, generations of families, all part of the NIMNICT family of dealerships. My family has been part of the NIMNICT family for almost 20 of those 85 years, and I've told you about all the different vehicles that we've purchased. But it's not about the cars and the trucks. It's about the service and also the NIMNICT relationships that expand all around the community.
Congratulations to Jordan Matthews, our committed to the uncommitted player of the year.
Nobody but NIMNICT. They are there for you and your causes, your car buying experience, and they are there for you 24 hours a day at NIMNICTBuickGMC.com. Experience professional grade with big inventory and even bigger savings. And Jacksonville's only Car Bravo certified dealership. Nobody but NIMNICT for 85 years. This milestone belongs to you, Jacksonville.
Year 2 is in the books for the Jacksonville Armada women's under-23 squad, taking another step forward in the Women's Premier Soccer League. Under the guidance of head coach David Goff, the girls in blue went undefeated at home for a second straight season, including a dramatic draw in the opener.
And they've left it to the death. Unbelievable stuff.
And a late winner to end the season at home.
Headed on. Here's a chance. Gianna Ramirez brings it down, still alive, takes a shot, and into the back of the net.
After fielding a younger roster in 2025 with talent from all across Northeast Florida, the future is bright for the Armada women's team. We highlight the ladies and all things Jacksonville Armada each week on Fleet and Footy on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
I'll put one in the back of the net for you.
Join us for player profiles, fun interviews, and the very latest on the Fleet and all things footy. That's every Thursday at 2 p.m.
It can be a silent killer, but awareness is getting louder. Blood clots take more lives each year than car crashes. And just like driving, you have to be defensive. A few easy ways to protect yourself or someone you love are to learn your Caprini risk score and ask your doctor about your blood clot prevention plan. Emily's Promise is a local nonprofit named for Emily Atkins, a young woman from Fernandina Beach who died after a preventable blood clot following a broken ankle. Her legacy is now driving change across Florida. The Emily Atkins Family Protection Act strengthens how hospitals screen for clot risks and train staff to recognize warning signs. Blood clots can affect anyone, including athletes, and the signs can be easy to miss. So be aware, be defensive, and help beat a silent killer with loud attention to risk factors and symptoms. Learn more at emilypromises.com. That's emilypromises.com.
Welcome back to Action Sports Jax HQ. Mia O'Brien set to be joined by Charlotte Crown head coach Trisha Stafford-Odom. This is Talk It Up, and this is the head woman of the crown. Yeah, put that crown on, queen, because you are a queen. We appreciate you joining us and rolling with the technical difficulties. Since producer Noah doesn't even know, when I send our guests an Outlook invite, normally I send the link to our server that we use here on Talk It Up on Action Sports Jax. And, just didn't realize that Outlook automatically makes a Microsoft Teams link there. So I apologize for confusing you. I appreciate you rolling with the punches and for joining us on this week's episode.
Not a problem whatsoever. I'm grateful to be here, and I'm about as technology challenged as there is, so I didn't even know the difference.
Hey, listen, that's a lot of us, especially because we use a lot of different bells and whistles here in the TV, radio, podcast world. Let's get to this. Your team is 13-10, Trisha, coming off of just one game this past week over the Savannah Steel. That was a tight one up until about the start of the fourth quarter. What is clicking for the Crown right now as we get set to flip the calendar to the month of August?
Ooh, Mia, looking back at that game that seems so long ago on Thursday, we started out rough, really, really rough. I hope that viewers were having difficulty watching that first quarter. We got it together in the second quarter. It was a great run with our bench really leading us. We went on a 12-2 run, and they just killed it in the second quarter. Third quarter changed things around, and I felt like we were more ourselves nearing the end of the game. But I think what's clicking is the fact that now the chemistry is real. We're not just talking about it, but players are recognizing what their teammates' strengths are, and they're supporting each other like crazy right now.
One of those players, correct me if I'm wrong, who came off the bench, or at least has come off the bench for much of the season, is your undisputed, in your opinion, captain in Lily Grissett. Since she arrived in Charlotte, you said she's the captain, the most decorated player, arguably, in terms of games played in South Carolina women's basketball history. She especially was a spark. We just showed her in the highlights off the top of today's episode in that second half. What was it? What has it been about Lily? There she is right now. Look at producer Noah.
That's pretty sweet. I see it.
Isn't that pretty sweet? Ain't that pretty sweet? Come on now.
Lily with the blondly dyed hair, the newly blonde hair. Well, Alicia Lily Grissett, she's amazing. So funny because I remember back months ago now, or definitely weeks ago, when I was undecided and indecisive about who would be the leader and captain of this team. And she grabbed me by storm because of not her on-court play, which right now she's elevating and using her experience as a champion, a two-time champion, to just lead on the court with how she plays, the energy she brings daily in practice, the competitive spirit. But more than anything, off the court, she's a leader. She gathers, she speaks up, she speaks on behalf of the players. They look to her to be the liaison between myself and my other staff member. And like I said, what she does on the court is priceless. She's like a junkyard dog, very selfless, doesn't care who gets the attention, is the first to acknowledge when she screws up on the court, and the hardest on herself, believe it or not. But she's always about the next play. And whoever is hot that day, she's going to feed that person.
Donna Orender joined us before you did, Coach Stafford-Odom, and she was heaping praise, of course, on to Deja Kelly, who is the leading scorer in the Upshot League. And we could certainly talk about Deja.
Assist leader.
And assist leader. Let's make sure we get that on the record, too. I love it.
Get that in there.
But and maybe it's because Deja's joined. Maybe it's because Deja's joined the program before. You and I have talked about her at length and kind of what it's going to take for her to return to the W, to continue to elevate here in this Upshot League as well. But the player who I want to ask you about is Reagan Richardson, just because I feel like she has, and you called it over the 4th of July weekend when the Crown were here in Jacksonville and we were talking pregame shoot around, getting ready for that broadcast. Right. You said, like, Reagan Richardson is a WNBA certified player, and she has really upped her game in the last few weeks.
That's right. I think Regan, and I call her Ray, which is crazy, but she definitely is an elite two-way player, meaning some players can do both, but she's elite at both. I think she can make an all-star roster on the offensive end and an all-star roster on the defensive end. She's got great size, flexibility, agility. She's athletic. She's cat quick. She's unselfish. And she just plays her game, stays in her lane, takes all the hits, the bumps and bruises. She's able to be a mismatch. She's able to guard a post player. She takes hits and gets pushed down, gets back up and runs and steals the fastest person on the team. And I did call that. And you want to talk about her, and I want to talk about her too, because I don't think I can shout her name loud enough on the rooftops. I mean, people are missing out on the intangibles she brings, as well as the superstardom. I'll tell a story that I can't wait to get home to Bojangles, because when we do pregame intros, her coming out is the best. Like, I'm right behind her like her hype man, because she gets me going, man. I mean, she touches the floor, she covers the ground. Regan Richardson is a star. And like I said, the other players are stars in themselves, but they also are unselfish enough to recognize what she brings to this Crown team, whether it's a 3-point shot, whether it's a defensive stop, whether it's getting downhill and scoring or getting to the rim to get to the free throw line. She's like that.
And it's really special because Reagan was born in Charlotte and she played at Duke. Like, I mean, it's an incredible story. I would put her in a player that you guys will be facing, I believe it's next week, yes, because you guys played the Steel and the Waves, which we'll get to here in just a second later this week. But I would put her and Jessica Timmons, another rookie out of Alabama, or I guess Regan's in her second year but of being a pro. But I would put those two right up there in terms of it's been amazing, Trisha, since May to see where they have evolved, and also that the two of them have taken on more of a leading role within both the Greensboro group for Jess and then the Charlotte Crown.
And as a matter of fact, that's who we're playing on Thursday. We play Greensboro. I feel like we've been in bed with them for the last 2 weeks. We were there for several games of a stretch, and they're coming here for several games. And what's funny is around the league, I'd like to think that, I've got a relationship with a lot of the players on the rosters, whether it be in the past or just their associates and friends of players on my team. So we kind of like joke and tease a lot. A lot of the players hit shots and talk trash to me, and I'm talking trash to them on the sideline. But Jessica Timmons is one that I will say she's elite in her talent. Forgive me for not knowing what type of game she had prior to. And I actually told her while we were in Greensboro, because her name came up when it was time to fill roster spots. And even after the fact, the WNBA had made some cuts and released players from their contractual obligations and camps. Her name came up. I think my roster was full. And then I found out later she was from here. Then I found out later how tough she was. And then we played against them a few times. And I'm like, oh my God, what was I thinking? Not calling that player back. But I told her that. And she just laughed. She looked at me crazy. And I just said, listen, you got to forgive me. I know not what I had not done. And now I know. So total respect for her. The load she's carrying. She came in late. She seems like a quiet worker that Coach Janice has on her roster. And I totally respect what she does. And equal to Regan Richardson, I mean, like, I'm priding myself on the offensive punch we have, including Regan Richardson on my roster. So I'm sure that Coach Janice is grateful to Jessica as well. There are a lot of talent. There's a lot of talent in this league that can remain here and be legends of Upshot, or take the opportunities to be magnified on another level in the WNBA.
Isn't this the beauty of the league, though, right? Chances. Like, here we are, we're talking to the head coach of the Charlotte Crown, and she's heaping praise onto a player on another team, while also recognizing that one of your players, if we had a most improved player throughout the course of the season, like, that's why I brought those two up, because watching both of them, you've
been watching, look at you doing your job, MVP over there.
I'm hosting Talk It Up every Monday.
Sleep for you, Mia.
Calling the Waves games.
That's a good lineup to start with as far as MVPs. And it's just, sometimes it's confidence. Sometimes these players have come from situations where, some of their talent has been suppressed or used differently. And thank God they're in situations now where we're able to allow them to go. I'm like, setting you free, forget all the past trauma, the past whatever. That did not happen for you. Tap back into who you are, what got you to the levels that you're on right now and have been in the past, and just go back to the basics of repetition, and allowing yourself to be praised for the skills that you possess.
You mentioned it. You guys have barely been at Bojangles Coliseum in Charlotte this last month. So walk us through the road warrior mentality for the Crown here in the dog days of summer.
I like how you just made me sweat the way you just prefaced that. Well, it's been tough. I mean, and then I wanted to cry about it to our schedule makers, to my powers that be, Miriam, Taj, Donna, and Andy, and just complain about the schedule. But then I look right now, all the other teams are in the dog days of summer and the gruesome schedule right now. And what I am now is grateful that we got to get through that kind of earlier and be road warriors and kind of figure it out on the road, how to get it done in spite of what we don't think has gone well or is going well at that moment. I do believe that we've grown from being on the road and not getting sometimes just the home court advantage, the feel for being home, sleeping in the bed, eating the familiar food, and seeing familiar faces in the crowd. Um, I do hope and anticipate that that's made us a better team, and that going through this stretch in August, we can capitalize on. If we've been able to do it on the road, then surely we should be able to get it done at home.
8 home games in the month of August. That sounds pretty sweet.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
That sounds pretty
8 in the
sweet to
month
close
of
the
August,
season.
and I think there's 9 total.
Oh,
or
9.
10 total.
Okay. Yeah, well,
No, I'm saying
Thursday.
I think they're 8, 9, and 1 home, or and
Yeah.
1 away. So
Mhm.
whatever it is, hopefully the scales will tip in our favor as far as wins and losses, and we'll give the people at Bojangles something to be excited about.
The Charlotte Crown will host the Greensboro Groove on Thursday. They will host the Savannah Steel on Saturday and host the Jacksonville Waves on Sunday. That's really unique, Trisha, because we haven't seen a schedule up to this point where you see all 3 other teams in succession. How do you prepare for this weekend in particular? And 3 games in 4 days, too.
That's tough. That is tough in itself, regardless of who the competition is. But I think the beauty of it is we have been able to establish intimate knowledge of each team, even though the rosters have, subtly changed slightly throughout the season. For the most part, the philosophical beliefs of each head coach remains the same, and we can understand what each coach is attempting to do, so we can prepare philosophically. We can prepare by personnel based on, we've seen these players over and over again, and so we can go by tendencies of what they do and try to take those things away. Coach Morrigill, my assistant coach, has done a very good job of giving updated scouting reports for us and just reminders. And I have no problem, pride in tapping into what my players know. I mean, they know each other more than we do. They get the updated versions of everything, so they tend to share, and I want to use it to our advantage. If I've got to ask KK Deans, who just joined our team recently, what do you know about this player and how can we play him? I mean, I'm trying to help them also become students of the game and be able to articulate what needs to be known to play against certain people. Matter of fact, I'll give you a short story of who did the scouting report for us against Savannah. I put it on our players. I'm tired of saying the same thing. I'm sure Coach MG is tired of saying the same thing. So, hey, you guys talk to each other about how you got to play Savannah. What you got to do. And Michelle Onya, we came in the locker room. They had it all. The players contributed. They had it all written out in great format. Michelle Onya sat up there, and I guess she was baby Coach TSO, but she did an outstanding job of who to guard, how to guard, and what their tendencies are, free throw percentages, who to foul, who not to foul, and what we want to do to be successful. So, in answer to your question, in preparation for 3 different teams, I think the players will have a lot of input. Film is always the best response. And then my job is just to go in there and not screw us up with the intensity level and kind of try to hold us accountable to some things that we said we're going to do as Crown players.
Thank you for taking us behind the curtain, Coach Stafford-Odom of the Charlotte Crown. I do have to tell you, so producer Noah, I sent him all these wonderful pictures of you through the years from your time as the head coach at NC Central. If you could fire up the one of you, though, since you brought up Michelle, your fellow Cal Bear.
On, you Bears!
Donna's loving this. I hope she still got the full episode on. I know she had it on a separate screen. Trisha, if you could go back and tell this young girl one thing about what was to come, what would it be?
Opportunity is coming. Stick to the grind, stick to the work ethic, stick to your vision and what you want, and go get it.
Simple as that.
Just go get it at all costs.
And would you also tell her, hey, your Cal background may or may not catch the attention of someone who you also crossed paths with, correct me if I'm wrong, when you were in the W with Don, or she wasn't technically your commissioner, right, when you were in the W?
Was not, but Donna has a son that was a Cal Golden Bear. So, I mean, it's just intertwines. I mean, that's us. We intellects just connect universally. So what I will also say is that I'm proud to have been a Golden Bear. And what I do know is the reputation of us will supersede and precede us, knowing that not only are we athletes, but we're intellectuals. And I won't stop praising that part of what we're known for. We are intellectuals sometimes. And speaking of Michelle, I mean, she's a processor, she's a thinker. So sometimes you think on different levels. And in the game of basketball, it goes so fast. People know she's smart, but now let's put it to common knowledge. Just put it to work on the court. Let's use your powers of intellect for good and not evil. So
The East Coast and the state of North
excited.
Carolina may have you captive right now, Trisha, but we know you are always repping the West Coast.
I'm always West Coast. I'm always going to be West Coast. So
Your home state of California.
Call you
We
right
love it. And then, of course, played in the WNBA with both the Houston Comets and the Miami Soul. Maybe that's where we want to end, Trish, because we are going
Ooh,
to
that's a good one.
We're going to go around the WNBA before we get you out of here. So, well, we are going to take a break after we let you go, and then we're going to go around the WNBA. So your biggest takeaways from the first half of the W season, since I know as much as you are locked in, obviously, on your own team in the Upshot League, I know you're always keeping an eye. You love ball, so you're always keeping an eye up there. What's your biggest takeaway so far from the first half of the season?
Well, I'll start with the fact that I'm an Olivia Miles fan. Not that this season is the season that I became that, because I truly watched prior to. And obviously, obvious and consistent comparison is with Chelsea Gray, whom I recruited as part of my #1 recruiting class at Duke. So it's easy to kind of watch and see the parallels, but she's just been so poised. But in addition to that, I'll give praise to the talent level that has risen even since we've played. We were talented and just hard nosed, but there is a lot of talent. I'm impressed with the parity in the league now. I'm impressed that across the board you've got players that I draft in a heartbeat as the GM of any squad, and I'm just impressed with, like I said, the fanmanship that has grown. And they're true fans. It's not flyby fans that go on just who's winning at the time and at the moment. I have people that can recite statistics and numbers in the past of the players that are playing right now. So I'm impressed with that. I'd love to see obviously more representation from the coaching point and from the GM point. I mean, that's been a subject, you know that.
Yep.
So I'd love to see that. And different personalities brought to the WNBA, because I do and truly believe that leadership starts from the top. And sometimes when you mix that top spot up, then you get an entourage and a variety of different flavors. So I'd love to see that.
Most definitely. Well, we appreciate you taking time to join us here on Talk It Up. I'm glad you got last weekend to enjoy watching the All-Star game. Hopefully rest up, because 3 games in 4 days coming up this week for Trisha Stafford-Odom and the Charlotte Crown.
I
sorry.
feel like I need to take a nap.
Go take a nap. Go and take a nap. Trisha Stafford-Odom, excited to see what's to come from the Charlotte Crown. Appreciate you. See you soon.
Thank you so much. Down with the crown. Go Upshot.
Hey, right there, right there. We look forward to seeing Coach Stafford-Odom very soon. One more quick timeout. When we return, we will recap the WNBA All-Star Game as well as Athletes Unlimited's championship round on the softball diamond here on Talk It Up.
Nimnicht is synonymous with Jacksonville, and now in 2026, Nimnicht is celebrating 85 years of partnerships with you. Longevity equals trust, and you want a car dealership you can trust. Thousands of vehicles sold, generations of families, all part of the Nimnicht family of dealerships. My family has been part of the Nimnicht family for almost 20 of those 85 years, and I've told you about all the different vehicles that we've purchased. But it's not about the cars and the trucks. It's about the service and also the Nimnicht relationships that expand all around the community.
Congratulations to Jordan Matthews, our committed to the uncommitted player of the year.
Nobody but Nimnicht. They are there for you and your causes, your car buying experience, and they are there for you 24 hours a day at NimnichtBuickGMC.com. Experience professional grade with big inventory and even bigger savings. And Jacksonville's only Car Bravo certified dealership. Nobody but Nimnicht for 85 years. This milestone belongs to you, Jacksonville.
Empower a future, inspire a dream. It's a bold but simple mission for the Jacksonville Police Athletic League, known as Jax PAL. Help the next generation of kids in Jacksonville shape a brighter future. Their after-school programs, teenage leadership programs. There's community outreach.
This has been just an awesome opportunity to be out here with my colleagues and do something good for the community. It's really been an interesting opportunity to just see everybody work together in a way that we don't normally in the office.
And there's sports. There are also ways you can help the next generation with a donation of any kind. Just visit jaxpal.org to get more information. Empower a future, inspire a dream with Jax Pal.
It can be a silent killer, but awareness is getting louder. Blood clots take more lives each year than car crashes. And just like driving, you have to be defensive. A few easy ways to protect yourself or someone you love are to learn your Caprini risk score and ask your doctor about your blood clot prevention plan. Emily's Promise is a local nonprofit named for Emily Atkins, a young woman from Fernandina Beach who died after a preventable blood clot following a broken ankle. Her legacy is now driving change across Florida. The Emily Atkins Family Protection Act strengthens how hospitals screen for clot risks and train staff to recognize warning signs. Blood clots can affect anyone, including athletes, and the signs can be easy to miss. So be aware, be defensive, and help beat a silent killer with loud attention to risk factors and symptoms. Learn more at emilypromises.com. That's emilypromises.com.
We've been telling you about the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network for over a year now. How to find it, what to see. Simply put, it's TV online. Local sports content all day, every day. Just like this.
Did you always want to make history? Like, think that big, or just say, hey, I want to play in the NFL?
I always say I wanted to play in the NFL.
That's it. Back to her left side, takes a shot, and into the back of the net.
Oh, what a pass.
Oh, my goodness.
What a pass.
Say he doesn't make a tackle, you still feel like his presence is felt in every single play.
I did have a sense that they wanted to be bold, that they wanted to make a splash.
It's content you won't find on TV. Find it on actionsportsjax.com and just sit back and watch local sports all day on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network.
Most of us know how to throw. But you need to know what to throw. I'm not talking about footballs, baseballs, softballs. We're talking about those items you need to recycle. Republic Services explains it easy. Recycling simplified. 1. Know what to throw. When in doubt, throw it out. 2. Empty, clean, and dry those materials. It takes an extra minute, but it makes a big difference. And 3. Don't bag it. This makes the recycling process faster and more efficient. This is a look at the Republic Services North Florida Recycling Center. You can make this process even more efficient. By utilizing those 3 steps, Republic Services can help you become a better recycler in your home. Learn more at recyclingsimplified.com.
One more segment to go here on today's episode of Talk It Up, our final episode for the month of July, the hometown Jacksonville Waves, which, of course, don't worry, we talk about everybody here in the Upshot League, all 4 founding members, as well as our 2 expansion teams joining next year, Nashville as well as Baltimore. But for those of you who are tuned in locally here on the Action Sports Jax 24/7 network, the Waves are home on Friday, so make sure you get on out and you support the Upshot League and women's basketball. Speaking of women's basketball, producer Noah Schlicks up, let's take a look at the WNBA All-Star Game. Jonquel Jones, the 4th player to ever win an MVP award, a Finals MVP, MVP of the All-Star Game, and she also had a triple-double in this one. Caitlin Clark with the first 11 of 13 points for Team Teaspoon. Team Teresa Witherspoon does get the dub over Team Cynthia Cooper. Did you watch any of this game while you were hanging out in the homeland of Iowa, Noah?
Honestly, I didn't know it was happening.
Okay, so that's a conversation worth having then. We need to promote it more. But
what night was that?
Saturday night. I know you were getting ready to drive.
Okay, yeah,
16 hours.
Saturday night we were, there was a lot going on Saturday night.
Dom Malonga, who you can see in this image, is being interviewed by one Holly Rowe, dunked, which was the first time there's ever been a dunk in an All-Star game. I thought Candace Parker dunked in an All-Star game, but I guess she dunked in an actual game. That's what I was corrected last night on ESPN Radio, which I didn't realize. But yeah, Dom balled. It was a great time.
By the way, opportunity to shout out Holly Rowe. We got to shout out Holly Rowe.
We got to shout out Holly Rowe, baby.
Everywhere.
Oh, just always, just in general. Just give her flowers. Just give her flowers. Also of note, when Holly was interviewing Caitlin, as well as Nneka Ogwumike, the PA president, as they walked off the floor, Caitlin said, "We got to play more defense. We got to play harder." And people were commenting online saying, "Wow, she has literally played for Cheryl Reeve, who was the coach of Team Teaspoon, for 2 business days, and now she wants to play defense." So file that one away. File that one away, folks, when you look at the WNBA odds for the WNBA finals. Now, this is not according to Vegas. Let's flip on over to the 3-point contest, Noah, because we are going to talk about one young Azzi Fudd and her Dallas Wings here. Azzi Fudd, the first rookie to ever win the 3-point shooting contest. That came on Friday night. Impressive fashion. She dropped 30 in the final round after scoring 24 in the opening round. Shout out to former Iowa State Cyclone Bridget Carlton, the star of the Portland Fire, who had 27 in that first round and just ran out of gas against young Azzi. But her Wings are not featured, Noah, in the latest WNBA, BPI, ESPN Insights predictive numbers when it comes to the teams with the best odds to reach the W finals. The Indiana Fever at 24%, the Aces 23%, the Lynx 16%, the Liberty 15%, the Atlanta Dream 13%. Where are the Valkyries? Where are the Wings? Little concerning, but what I will tell you is that the Fever do play the Lynx 3 times in the second half of the season. They do not have to play the Aces. Well, they play the Aces once. They do not have to play the Liberty. They play the Dream once. They do not have to face the Valkyries. And so strength of schedule, I think, is a big factor.
Are you still on the Fire Stephanie White train, or are you off of that now that they're hot?
It depends on the day. I think structurally, I think that Steph needs to bring in some outside insight, because clearly Caitlin responds to her, Kelsey Mitchell responds to her, Aaliyah Boston responds to her, but at the same time, I think this idea of just playing hero iso ball is not going to get anybody anywhere, and that's what the Fever do each and every night. So, but when the threes are falling, everything is well. And Aaliyah Boston,
like good old Fran McCaffrey basketball right there.
Yeah, no, we haven't hit the Fran fade yet. Let's hope we don't have one of those. Hey, shout out real quick, the Utah Talons. Oh, and Nafisa Collier is back. You already heard, 24-10 in her debut for the season for the Minnesota Lynx, and of course was at All-Star Week as well. Shout out to the Utah Talons, who have now won the first 2 AUSL championships in league history. Montana Fouts and friends, a 2-1 win on Saturday, 6-1 on Sunday over the Chicago Bandits. Last year they won the title 1-0 complete game shutout by Montana Fouts, the former Alabama star.
Dynasty already?
Oh yeah, only 2 years, but I mean they got Montana Fouts. Like, talk about if NIL was a thing early on in her. I mean, NIL was a thing during her college career at Alabama, but like if you want to talk about recognizable, who's the next Jenny Finch? If we had an Olympic softball team still, if it was still an Olympic sport, which I believe it is coming back, don't quote me on that. Like, Montana Fouts is that girl. Complete game, 7 hits, 1 run allowed, 1 walk, 4 Ks. That's all we got. That's all we got here on Talk It Up. We got to go. We appreciate everybody hanging out with us, talking all things women's sports, talking it up with our friends at the Upshot League. Thank you to Donna Orender. Thank you to Trisha Stafford-Odom for joining us on today's program. As always, be sure to like this episode, subscribe to Action Sports Jackson, of course, follow the Upshot League on all their various social channels on your way out the door. We will catch you guys next Monday.
Nimnicht is synonymous with Jacksonville, and now in 2026, Nimnicht is celebrating 85 years of partnerships with you. Longevity equals trust, and you want a car dealership you can trust. Thousands of vehicles sold, generations of families, all part of the Nimnicht family of dealerships. My family has been part of the Nimnicht family for almost 20 of those 85 years, and I've told you about all the different vehicles that we've purchased. But it's not about the cars and the trucks. It's about the service and also the Nimnicht relationships that expand all around the community.
Congratulations to Jordan Matthews, our committed to the uncommitted player of the year.
Nobody but Nimnicht. They are there for you and your causes, your car buying experience, and they are there for you 24 hours a day at NimnichtBuickGMC.com. Experience professional grade with big inventory and even bigger savings. And Jacksonville's only Car Bravo certified dealership. Nobody but Nimnicht for 85 years. This milestone belongs to you, Jacksonville.
In this video, I'm going to show you how to easily access Action News Jax now using your Roku device. First, launch Roku. Next, use the menu list to scroll down to the search feature. Then, use the remote to enter Action News Jax into the search bar, and then click Action News Jax thumbnail. Once you see this screen, go ahead and select Add App. Wait a few seconds for it to install. Once it finishes installing, press the star button on your remote and click on Move App or Move App to the top. Finally, select the app back on your home screen to open it. Now you can watch all the great content on Action News Jax now.
Most of us know how to throw.